Now, the only thing that I can sit here, and I know I'm sound like I'm talking out of the side of my head because I talk about Jim Clyburn like he's well, no, I'm actually believe he gets on my freaking nerves. Jim
He's
Clyburn,
just what?
he gets on my nerves still to this day.
Oh.
We can barely hear
But
you going in and out.
Yeah, because you're fading out
Yep,
sometimes.
you
That's
fading
why I was.
out. That's what we like. What did he say?
oh boy, this gonna sound real good in the replay. So what I was saying about Jim Clyburn.
He's a piece of garbage.
Now,
Disagree, but go ahead.
now, I guess, but that's what I'm saying now. I don't like him now. But to say that he wasn't a force to be reckoned with then, that's
Oh
incorrect.
yeah, well I would say that. What the heck happened? I don't know.
But but I can look back on him and tell him thank you for what you did for us then. I can. Now, do I want you to go sit your ass down somewhere and move out of the ways for progress? Yeah, I can still say that now too, and mean it. But I'm not going to degrade what you did for us in the past. And I, the only reason I say that is because I saw a bunch of Facebook things on Black History that was just like, it's really nice of you to be able to say the stuff that you want to say now about people who didn't have the same ability that you did have now. So, okay, just throw that out there. Just throw that out there. So
Yeah.
that's
Like when
all.
we talk about Clyburn,
Yeah,
think about the time that Clyburn grew up in. If you understand what created the man, you have a better understanding of the man that's standing in front of you. You know what I'm saying? So he came up through the whatever crap he came up through, and no one gave his generation much of anything. So I'm not a fan of Jim Clyburn anymore. Well, I was never a fan of him because I didn't even know about him until I became more politically aware. But I'm not going to denigrate that man. And while yes, I would like someone else who is more aggressive, more engaged to take his seat, the operative term there is take.
Yeah, cause he ain't
I'm not
giving it
going to
up.
tell that he shouldn't give it up. Someone should take it.
yeah.
They didn't give it to his generation. Our generation coming up right now is so lazy. We got so many. I mean, I'm a talking head, so I mean, put me in this crew. We got opinions for days. But these were people who were doing. So if we want their seat, we got to go take their seat. We can't just knock on the door and say, hey, man, you 75 years old. Hey, man, you 80 years old. It's time for you to just go ahead and retire, dog. It's time for you to go. We don't know if you got to prove yourself. You got to come out here and say, you know what, I'm the best one for this, and this is why, and then come out here and do the work. And then 20, 30 years from now, when you get to be out of touch, somebody gonna come behind you and be like, hey, this dude ain't, I don't care what he was, what he is right now, I ain't doing it. Put me in, coach. And that's how I view it. Like
You
I do
know,
not understand this mentality that says someone's just supposed to get out the way.
especially with consideration of this, and maybe I'm talking out of fear or whatever. Y'all really need to stop this whole go sit down somewhere so we can get somebody in that's better and more. Why y'all think that's gonna be?
I'm like, who is the better?
Because here's my deal. Because here's my thing. And I hate to do this. I hate to do this because I want to bring up old bad news. Because look, you need to go sit down so we can bring in somebody better. Who did Clyburn beat the last time?
No, that's not fair, but I
No.
agree.
I'm just
See,
saying.
that's where I
I'm
give.
just,
That's the
hey,
argument that makes me
hey,
so sick.
I'm
You
just
run a
saying.
person, people
I'm
say,
just
"Oh, it's
saying.
time for Clyburn to go." Then we run a person. Well, he's got this problem, this problem, this problem, this.
Right, but
Okay,
Tracy, you are Tracy, you are one of the main cheerleaders for that philosophy though. Because one of the things that you always uphold is you have a very strong standard for what you want to see go in there. You don't want just anybody to be put into a place.
Right.
So This person, yes, stood up and said, you know what? All the odds are against me. I'm going to go against the king on top of the hill because he's out. He's not the right one. I'm going to go run for it. Fine. But that doesn't mean we all should just agree with you just because you're going against them. You're not the right one. When the right one comes, the right one will have it. So it's like, it's really.
Are we going to just keep, no matter who runs against them, are we going to do the same thing over and over? Well, you're not right because
we absolutely
of this.
will.
Yes.
And
we
that's
will,
what that's
because,
the problem. You can't.
Look,
he's not gonna get beat if nobody says, "Hey, this is what Jim Clyburn didn't do. This is what I am gonna do."
No, to do all of those things, and you keep doing it until you win. But it's like kind of like it's a similar track to when like we were having a conversation recently, right, about old crazy Mayor Pete, right? And as long as you want to hold on to what this person did here, there, or whatever, but you don't care about what they're doing right now. That's the same argument that we're talking about with like a Clyburn situation. Just because you're opposing the person I don't like doesn't mean that you're the person I'm gonna support. I still think you should have. You're proving why you should have it.
But what if that was the person I supported?
What do you mean?
He got votes.
He didn't win.
He didn't get enough votes.
No, he didn't get enough. I agree with that. But I'm saying, what is going to encourage a person, a different person, to run against them if the backlash is, well, look at all Clyburn's done, and you're not ready. When is somebody going to be ready? That's my question.
You're ready when you prove you're ready, and you're able to fight against this broken, corrupt system.
That you're ready.
You got to come back again. So if he's serious, and if you notice what this particular.
Tracy, this is what I have asked every person that you've had on the independent board. Every person that you've had, I've asked this question, and so far they're batting 0 for 4 or 0 for 5 of if you don't win, will you run again? And I done got everything other than yes. And I tell them to say, why do you not run again? Because you have to run again.
Because it costs money to run for an elected seat.
So fine. So that's why you can't come back.
That's the game you chose to play.
The next person to come up, we need to vote for him. I don't know you. I know what you are saying, but did you say how many times have we seen the big two, Republicans and Democrats? How many times have we sat there and said, wow, they really changed their stance from the last time they ran to this time. Wow, well, maybe they're in a good place right now because now they was thinking this, but now they're thinking this. And why you do? I can't do it for independents because every time I look up for an independent candidate, it's somebody brand new. Now,
and it is rough.
Let's go for the Democratic part of it, going against Clyburn. This guy may be able to beat him eventually. But I guarantee you, if he don't run again, we're starting off brand new.
Well, the point I'm saying here is, and basically what Marlon's saying there is, like, it's not easy, right? It's not easy, especially being an outsider. You know, an avowed independent trying to go up against a system that's built by two private organizations, right? So they can freeze you out of everything that they want to freeze you out of. They can keep you off of the ballots. I think it's Pennsylvania where they got a thing where you got to get a certain level of ballots, but you got to get it during a certain period of time. And that period of time just happens to be the height of winter. So it's like, you know, and that's because the Democrats and the Republican parties get together and they create the rules to keep other people from coming in so that incumbents have a better chance of just staying in office, right? Because they're playing a different game. There's a political game and then there's a people's game, right? So I am not disagreeing with you there, Tracy. I think we're trying to get to the same place, as a matter of fact. What I'm saying is, if you're going to be, like right now, we're talking about Marcel. That's what we're talking about. So if Marcel is the best one to unseat Clyburn, then we shall see. Because what had happened the first time? First time, he was full of passion, and he went out there and he tried, and he got thumped because you went up against Mike Tyson, right? And Tyson was able to beat you, okay? But one of the things I'll give Marcel credit for, even though I don't see him that much now because he's a local cat and I'm not in South Carolina, right? But he started tightening up his image. He stays engaged on the ground. Every once in a while, he puts out reports on what he's working on. He's trying to do more interviews, so he's much more polished than when he was starting out. Like, he's doing that work. So if he comes back again, I'm willing to bet when he comes back, he'll have a much stronger machine than what he had the first time. And that's how you win. You don't win just because you have the best ideas. That's not how our system works.
No,
You win because you were able. You win because you were able to figure out how to get through this thing, right? Especially when you're talking about house seats. Anyway, those things so twisted up.
I gotta agree with Mickey's point.
Not entirely. Truth is, look at what happened to Nina and terrible
Chantel, Dookie
Chantel.
Brown.
What part of? Well, somebody elaborate for me because Nina just got beat.
But she haven't finished. Mostly a right winger and whatever that word.
Cisneros was he ran in Texas.
The
Yeah,
party
what they-
lifted up the non-progressive crush.
They did it in
Yes.
Buffalo. They did it in
That's what
race
they're
in
supposed to
Buffalo. India Walton should be mayor of Buffalo right now. Today, she should be mayor.
If we're talking about right and wrong, she should be. But that is not reality. See, that's the problem I have with a lot of times y'all come at me with on these political things. Y'all talking about some stuff like what should be because 1 plus 1 equals 2.
We talking
That's
about
not
how
right.
we talking about how the duopoly will come in, push
I
down
agree.
and push down and push down until
And
it's
then my
short.
question, but here's the thing though. Why do they do it?
Because they can.
Because they set the rules, right?
Yep,
Because
unfortunately,
we have a system. We have a system where two private organizations, because that's one thing a lot of people are not familiar with. The Democrat Party and the Republican Party are not non-profit, like ambiguous things. They are actual organizations. And they own our political system because they've been in place for so long. They got the money flowing and all that stuff that they do. So you're going into their game. So the people we've seen get the most traction that have done things that we're trying to get done are the ones who went in under one of those parties. Now, personally, I think we should be on a parliamentary system because of how complicated our nation is. But to get there, I don't know how we get there, right? But the game that we're in right now is Democrat and Republican, or you can go independent. And then if you want to go independent, you know what you're up against. Now, Nina actually, I thought she ran as a Democrat.
She did run as a Democrat.
Okay.
She ran twice.
So,
and they did the same thing to
Right.
her twice. The first time
Right.
she
Now-
barely lost, and the second time she got thumped. But that was because dark money came in.
no, second time she got beat wasn't just about the money. Second time she got beat is because during a presidential election, you're running on the Democratic ticket and you swung at the Democratic nominee
She should have swung
and it
at her.
didn't stick. Then that's why you got what you got.
I'm
So you
sorry,
got
but
right and wrong.
if you're a progressive, this is the problem I have with
Progressive
progressives.
is a BS term anyway, but go ahead.
I'm just going to use it in their terms. If your thing is a progressivist, I'm going to speak truth to power, which is what she did.
Yes.
I have no problem with that. You took the
And that's why
job
she
of
lost.
president. But what I would ask those people, what did Joe Biden do for you? What she was saying, she was not telling any lies. Nothing that
Nope,
she
she
said
wasn't.
was a lie.
I agree.
Chantel Brown, I'm gonna just do whatever Joe Biden tells me.
She
And
played the
she
game.
wins? Nah, bro.
Yeah, because she played the
nah.
game. So, see, once again, we talking about you're living, you're speaking in this right and wrong dimension, and that's not reality. So, is Nina
Turner.
give me her right, Turner? Okay, because I was gonna call her Brown. Nina Turner is arguably one of the most authentic people we have running for office. Now, personally, now that she does her talk show thing on TYT, she annoys the hell out of me because I don't know what she be talking about sometimes. But she was definitely the most qualified person to go into that position. She cares about people. She got people who support her. She has a track record that shows that she does it when the camera's on and she does it when the camera's off. I'm with you, all of those things. I'd vote for her every day, twice on Sunday, even though voting twice is illegal. But the
Shoot,
thing
Trump voters
is,
do it all the time.
but the thing is, she's operating in a system. And the presidential election was the same year that she was trying to get back in there. So you offered your opponent the inside track, because what you did was you didn't just say, well, he's not the preferred nominee that I would like, but I'll work with him to get this, and this done. She actually went out bold-faced criticizing the man. So now you got her, where the camera? We got her and her opponent. Her making the party look bad during an election period, and the other one just kind of hiding their hands, waiting to get some money. Of course the other one wins, because the party is going to protect itself. If you want to change this, then I will hope everybody would join with me, and we want to get rid of the Democratic Party altogether. But before we can get rid of the Democratic Party, we got to get rid of the Republican Party, because the clear and present danger is the Republican Party. That's the biggest fight. But no, those on the left, those so-called progressives, they want to get out there and fight their own party while the other party is trying to knock you out the box. That's ridiculous. Focus on the big fight. Get your people into the ring and then take some stuff over. But y'all want to stand outside and call everybody every bad name in the world and then wonder why they don't open the door and give you some food.
You want to win or you want to be right?
They obviously just want to be right.
Because the whole mentality of, and I'm not picking on you, Tracy. Like, I'm just going piggybacking off of what you said. But you're not the first and not the last person to say this. But where did she lie? But where did she lie? But where did she lie? Okay, then why she didn't win?
Because the system crushed her.
No, because she told the truth at the wrong time.
And the people don't appreciate the truth. The constituents in that district obviously don't appreciate the truth. They didn't vote for her. And the voter turnout was low.
No one appreciates the truth.
Nope, they sure don't. That's the problem with our country. That's the problem with our country, right there.
Okay.
Truth be right there in front of their face, and then we like, okay, I'm just going to ignore it.
So let me ask you this, Steve.
I agree.
Let me ask you this. How did Kristen Sinema win?
By lying. Well, basically, she lied. Everything she campaigned on, she did the exact opposite. And she knew as a United States Senator, once she got there, she couldn't be removed except by the United States Senate.
Exactly.
So now you're telling independent. Now y'all telling independents, okay, just lie. Just go out there and just lie.
Yeah.
No. What I'm telling you is,
you're not gonna convince me. I'm not convinced. No. The game is screwed up.
You can take that morality thing and keep going to the loser circle. It works for me. My thing is this: you know what you up against. So what do? You look at
just lie and cheat like them. That makes me no better than them. If I'm a liar and a cheater, and they're a liar and a cheater, and I lie and cheat, I'm no better than them.
I'm not saying.
No, it depends on what you do with it. But here's what I'm saying.
I'm not saying go straight out there and lie and everything else. I agree with you, that old Tracy. I agree with that. I wholeheartedly agree with that. But me and Thiz has been saying the same thing over and over and over again. I'm not saying for you to go straight out there and lie like Kristen Sinema. I hope to never meet anybody like Kristen Sinema ever again in my existence.
Oh no, there's a whole bunch of people like her.
We got
at least 10 or 12 of them like her.
I know, but what I am saying is,
Santo,
know how to play the game.
The game is stupid and is wicked, and it needs to change.
How to change. Know how to play.
And yet, y'all wondering why I didn't invite you to the duopoly.
Wait a minute.
Nah, because listen to what I'm saying. You don't want me on duopoly because people get out there talking, and I'm a challenge on their ideas. Because I actually agree that the duopoly needs to be torn apart. I agree that we need more parties than this garbage two-system thing that we have. From the day y'all ever even heard my voice, you know that my politics are black, they're not red, and they're not blue. So if there's somebody who's against a duopoly, it's yours truly. But what I'm saying, though, is the system that we are operating under is bigger than an individual. So if we want to fix the system, we got to get into the seats where the authority rests to change some things. So that means you go in there, and maybe lie ain't the best way to put it, but I'm saying it's fine with me. But it's fine with me if you lie on this particular point. You go in there and you say, when you go to file your paperwork, and they say, what are you filing under? And you say, Democrat. And then you go to all the county Democratic meetings and you rub shoulders and do all that stuff. And right. And then you go and you win your seat. Right. And now you a House member or a senator. And then you start showing your progressive color. You can do those things. Nothing is saying you can't do that. We don't do it because we want to be righteous when it's not time to be righteous. You're trying to pray in the middle of the fight. It's time to fight.
You're trying to change. Everybody can agree on this, that the rules that the Democrats and Republicans needs to be changed. The problem is the people who are saying that the rules need to be changed are the people who don't have the power to change it. So sitting there yelling at the top of your lungs that the rules need to be changed, fine. Makes for a great peace. Hey, we almost
so you're saying that they should just all run
I appreciate the content.
So a libertarian
yelling at the top of your lungs that the rules need to be changed.
But you're saying a libertarian, for example, should run as a Republican, then get in there, get elected. It's like, I'm a libertarian.
That's what they do. That's exactly what they do.
So what is it that y'all saying? Because I'm hearing two different things. I'm
going exactly what Thea is saying.
And Thea literally just said run as a Democrat, but once you get in office, show your progressive roots. Did you not just say that?
Right.
So what are you saying, Marlon?
Wait a minute. Isn't it progressive Democrat? It ain't progressive Democrat Republican. It is progressive Democrat. You go in there as a Democrat, play the Democratic game,
and take the PAC money too.
Your progressive butt off.
Hell yeah!
There is no way. See, this is why I don't run for. There's no way I could look myself in the mirror and be like, I took PAC money. No. Women don't mean that much to me.
You know what? Here's the thing about PAC money. Right? All money is based on what you do with it. Money is just a tool. So you can go up there and you can say, I will only take money from small dollar donors.
Like Bernie did.
That's cool. Right. That's cool.
And
but Bernie also had like 30 years. They had like 30 years in the game.
And Elizabeth Warren did the same thing, sort of, kind of.
And that's great. And Elizabeth Warren would have been my choice for president. That's cool. But what I'm saying is everybody can't do that. So if you want to make that a standard for the party, that's cool. Because I think that's one of the things that is kind of percolating through the party, where it's just like, you don't want to be seen taking, PAC money. But the problem to me isn't about if you take PAC money. That's where the money is. You want to compete with these jokers over here? Then you need some money, right? You need money because the population that you're trying to sway is unfortunately very distracted. And they're going to be picking up on what they hear the most often. And they're going to be paying attention to what catches their eye. I wish that was not the case. I wish people were focused on the actual needs that they and their family and their community has, and then they vote accordingly. I wish that was the case. But people are very distracted, and that's not how they function. So you need money to be able to compete in some of these airways. Now, that doesn't mean that you take any and everybody money who offers it to you. Yeah. And it also doesn't mean that you go in there and you play the game the same way, right? Republicans are notorious for not just taking PAC money. They take dark money.
So right? Do the Democrats.
Hear me out. That's fine. But hear me out. Then the Democrats can still take PAC money. Tell me who you getting it from. So at least I know whose name is in the back of your mind here, right? I just don't think the unilateral disarmament is effective early in the fight. We need the people to actually be in voting position to go in there and actually say, you know what? I got elected. I'm going to serve my people for the 2 years that I have this House position. And if I'm able to earn your vote to be reelected, then so be it. But what I'm going to be doing right now is I am committing to no more than 2 or no more than 3 terms in office. And that is a hard line that I commit to. People can start doing that. The only thing that stops them from doing that is they get in there and they don't want to leave.
Yeah, because they get all that money. How can you go in making $140,000 and come out a millionaire? Huh?
Come out a millionaire. Come out a whole new right?
You done went a whole
Changed
new
your whole
income
family.
bracket. You done went from here to all. Wait a minute.
You went in one level of a tax bracket and left
with a whole nother
and,
one.
and that's why I'm saying the system is bigger than the individual. That's why we have to be more intentional with what is being funneled in there, because you send one person into a system that's 200 and something years old, and you got all these people in here that got every which way to twist you and break you. You know, the whole situation where if you're a freshman of whatever, freshman senator, you got a 6-year term. And they're telling you that as a freshman senator, you got to be quiet. So you got to be quiet for 6 years. So that means that's 6 years we have to work on you behind the scenes. That's 6 years to make sure that you're not the same person who got elected 5 years ago, right? The system is a mess. But if you get people in there, and we have a few sprinkled in here and there, and they say, you know what, I am for term limits. I am for the only thing we can make is our salary. I am for making sure that insider trading is illegal for Congress, just like it is for the person out there on the street. You need a lot more people doing that. But you're not going to get there if you're walking in the front door in a primary, fighting for your seat, and you attacking the party. That's like me having a party at my house and you start talking about my wife. I ain't gonna let you come in.